What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we've got a quick news and reset update for Destiny 2 this week. And in the video we're going to touch on a few things to look forward to, almost like an extended reset with some extras thrown in I guess, but we're going to briefly cover this week's Revision 0 quest, including the Dead Exo location to pick up the final catalyst. And we're also anticipating some Lightfall news this week, as well as a kind of mini event that's being brought to the game for Lunar New Year, which on top of some new cosmetic items, will apparently reward some daily free bright dust, so we'll touch on that, and then some of the vendor changes coming this week for focusing, plus we've got a couple of other items to discuss. And so guys, as always, I hope you enjoy the video, and if you do, be sure to get subscribed for more Destiny content, but without further delay, let's get into it. And initially, something to keep your eyes open for outside of the game this week. And in this final handful of weeks before Lightfall drops, we can expect plenty of reveals and discussion from Bungie about the changes that they're going to make in the expansion. And they did confirm last week that they've got a blog post planned for this week, which will contain more information on how mods and build crafting will be evolving in the new expansion. Very often when these are separate to the TWAB, which it sounds like it will be, Bungie have a tendency to post them on a Wednesday. Of course, any day is possible, but this will be one of the first kind of technical reveals for how systems are changing in the expansion. So I'll be sure to keep you posted on that. We've got some pretty cool systems like the mod manager, in-game build management, and a few other quality of life fixes on the way, so that will almost certainly tie into what Bungie are going to discuss this week. Then beyond that, there'll probably be additional reveals for Strand. Plenty of discussion about weapon and sandbox tuning, and that's likely outside of the more hype reveals like trailers, exotic reveals and stuff like that, so it should be a pretty exciting lead up to the new drop. But heading back to the game this week, one of the changes definitely worth noting are adjustments to weapon and armor focusing on the core vendors. So from this week, focusing costs for all Trials of Osiris, Iron Banner, Crucible, and Gambit weapons and armor will be reduced to 25 legendary shards where they currently cost 50. And then for adept weapon focusing, the costs are going to be reduced to 50 down from 250. And the glimmer cost of focusing regular ritual weapons has been reduced to 5,000, where that was previously 10,000. And so obviously, of course, Trials and Iron Banner are limited time events and they'll be returning at their own cadences. But for general Crucible and Gambit weapons and armor, if there are any items you're hunting down, gear focusing may be a bit more appealing with those cost changes. So give us your thoughts about that down below. The other thing to know for the game this week, and we don't have full details on it just yet, but we do have another hotfix inbound, which will be Hotfix 6304. And so there's maintenance for that today on Tuesday, January 17th. Bungie say that will begin at 10 AM PST and end at 2 PM, but there is no downtime expected. And so it could be the case that this is actually maintenance for a hotfix that's going to drop a bit later on in the week as opposed to today. But no doubt there'll be some more bug fixes, hopefully some good quality of life updates, and other major issues for the season addressed, but I'll be sure to keep you posted. But the next thing we're going to talk about is an almost mini-event type thing that Bungie are doing in the game this week for Lunar New Year. And that references Chinese New Year, which I believe will actually be this Sunday, the 22nd of January. But to celebrate that, and of course for the opportunity to sell some stuff for silver, Bungie have introduced a few new cosmetic items in the game. And these will appear in the Eververse store this week. So initially, one of the standalone items is the Leporine Jubilation. This is a new ornament for Risk Runner. Pretty cool red, white, and gold ornament right there with the Jade Rabbit icon on the side. This week that can be purchased for 700 silver. But additionally, there is a new bundle, the Year of the Rabbit bundle, and according to Today in Destiny, this will cost 2200 silver. And it's going to contain the Lunar Lagomorph shell. That can separately be purchased for 600 silver. But additionally, there'll be the Moonshadow Hop exotic ship. And the individual purchase price for that is listed at 800 silver. Then finally, there is the Rabbit's Chase exotic sparrow, which is also 800 silver. So you can either buy them in the bundle or as individual items, take your pick. But on top of that, it looks like there could be a couple of additional drops, including a new emblem, Jade's Burrow. It's listed as unlocking by a special offer, so I'm not sure if all players will get access to it, or whether there is a purchase requirement on the Bungie store or something like that. Although, it looks like all players will get access to a little bit of a gift from Bungie. And I think they posted this early on the Destiny 2 YouTube channel, but update your wear in the name of the hare. Head over to Eververse to grab your daily red envelope of Bright Dust, and check out the latest Year of the Rabbit gear. And there's an item right here, the Lunar New Year gift, and that's linked to Tess Everest. So it looks like that will be the daily red envelope of Bright Dust we can pick up. Not exactly sure how much Bright Dust will be in there, but even if you don't plan to pick up any of the other items, if you want the dust, you can just head to the vendor each day and grab it. So let us know if you plan to get any of the cosmetic items, and of course, happy Lunar New Year for later on this week. Up next though, this week we'll see both the final quest steps for the More Than a Weapon quest, that's the main season quest, and so we could see some additional story this week. But on top of that, we'll get the final quest for the Revision 0 catalysts, which will be Should You Choose to Accept It Part 4, and this will grant the 4-timer refit for the weapon. But in terms of the steps, it does take the same form as the other 3 quests we've done. And so this time, once we have access to the quest, we'll need to complete the week's mission, that's found in the Director and the Helm. Then for step 2, we'll need to travel to the Cosmodrome and decrypt the passcode cipher by completing patrols and defeating combatants in the Cosmodrome, before locating the dead drop in the Exodus Garden 2A Lost Sector and uploading the cipher. And as always, that can be done at the end of Exodus Garden next to the final chest, where we'll find the Hake terminal. But after that, we head into Operation Seraph Shield on Legend difficulty, and the weapon schematic location for this week, or the Dead Exo, can actually be found in the Escape the Ketch section of the mission. So when we're first teleported to the Ketch, and the floor goes all slanty and weird, in the room with the first set of ads, one of the doorways on the right hand side will actually have the Dead Exo body. So as always, we just need to interact with that before completing the rest of the mission. Although once we have the 4-timer refit, the final step this time will be to visit a weapons expert to analyze the catalysts, and of course that will be Banshee. And so a couple of major quests for the season wrapping up this week. And let us know if you'll be diving into Operation Seraph Shield once again. And the very final mention right here would be the updates for Grandmaster Nightfalls. Just in case you weren't aware, of course they launched this week. And Bungie have decreased the power level required to enter Grandmasters by 25 points, so that's now 1580, which is the powerful cap. But on top of that, they've decreased the overall power level of GMs by 10 points, so they're now at 1620. And they say the power difference of minus 25, which makes all enemies at least 25 power above you, is still in effect. But if you want to enter at 1580, it's possible, and enemies will be 40 power above you. However, we're able to increase power effectiveness up to 1595. And that's a change there designed to make Grandmasters more accessible, so let us know if you'll be diving into GMs this week. And for the video today, guys, that's everything we have to speak about. So as always, I hope this one's been interesting and useful. Let us know what you're most looking forward to this week in Destiny, and if you've enjoyed the video, a rating down below really does help us out. Otherwise though, for now, I appreciate you tuning in, and I also appreciate all of the recent support here on the channel, guys. It's been a bit of a rocky few months with player sentiment going into this season, and based on some of the issues in the game, I totally understand that sentiment. But given how those things are being received right now, the support from you guys has continued to be absolutely awesome, so I truly appreciate it. And whatever you guys get up to, I hope you have an awesome day.